Hi, everyone. Nice to see you again. Sure is an excellent day to sue God. Oh, you didn't know? Well, apparently it is entirely possible to attempt to bring a lawsuit against God or any other religious figure for that matter, Zeus, Satan himself. So follow me as I tell you about all the times that people have tried to sue the Almighty in suing God and other religious figures. The phenomenon of suing a religious figure is not as common as I actually expected it to be, and there's only a few cases of something like this happening, so hopefully I don't accidentally condemn myself to hell for this one. The earliest case I could find after my very in depth and rigorous 2 minutes of research on this topic was in 1969, where a guy by the name of Russell Tansey attempted to bring a lawsuit against God on behalf of his secretary, Betty Prinrose. His complaint against God was negligence in allowing a lightning bolt to strike Betty's house, making him being God, liable to repay those damages. The basis of this lawsuit was that just 1 week before, a singer slash cult leader had attempted to legally sign the deed of his commune over to God. Now, this wasn't like a real attempt or like he really believed God should own this commune. It basically was an attempt to dodge taxes on the property, but it set up a basis for essentially God being a legal entity. Tansey stated that since God owned land in the county, that land being said cult leader's commune, he should be allowed to stand trial for his negligence in said lightning bolt attack. However, eventually the case of God legally owning land was thrown out. And get this, the case wasn't thrown out because God couldn't own a building, but because if he owned said building, there would be no way to collect taxes on him. So in the end, it's taxes that prevented God from owning real estate in the United States. And once that case was thrown out, so was Tansey's. The next case of someone attempting to sue God is actually kind of clever, and it comes from inside of a prison. Basically, over in Romania, a prisoner in jail for murder attempted to sue God, and basically his claim was that he had been baptized and that his baptism was a legal contract with God protecting him from evil. And he basically claims that God failed his side of the contract because he did not prevent the devil from tempting him to commit murder. So he's basically trying to push his actions onto God and the devil, basically saying, "Oh God, you didn't stop this murder from happening, so you're breaking your contract," which is honestly the craziest defense I've ever heard, but also like I can kind of see where he was going with it. The lawsuit was eventually thrown out because the court reasoned that God was neither a corporation or an individual, which means a lawsuit could not technically be brought against him in Romania, which I mean, I guess that's fair enough. This next one goes out to my Indian demographic, which, according to my analytics, is my second largest demographic for some reason. But apparently in 2016, a man by the name of this, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, attempted to sue the Hindu god Rama for mistreatment of his wife, which you go simp, love to see it. I don't really know a lot about Hinduism here, just being completely honest, but I'm going to assume the mistreatment here goes further than like not remembering a birthday or making her do all the chores while he watched TV in Hindu heaven. The case was eventually thrown out, with the judge's reaction pretty much being summed up with, "This is stupid, fuck off," which I think is so funny. This next lawsuit is actually not an attempt to sue God, but actually the devil instead. And it's the case of Gerald Mayo versus Satan and his staff, which is not a joke. That's actually how the lawsuit was filed, Satan and his staff. So, like, Satan's secretary and his treasurer and whatnot. Mayo was an inmate who claimed that the devil had infiltrated his life and set up several obstacles in his life and had, on numerous occasions, caused the plaintiff misery, causing his downfall, which feels really dramatic but is also kind of funny. Mayo alleged this deprived him of his constitutional rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and the case was eventually thrown out, with the justification from the judge being that Mayo had given no clear instruction on how to reach the devil so that he may be served with his court summons. This next case is actually the most famous instance, or probably the most famous instance, of someone trying to sue God, as it's an attempt by a U.S. politician by the name of Ernie Chambers. Ernie was a Nebraska state senator, and in 2008 he attempted to file a permanent injunction against God and his harmful activities on earth. The suit was initially thrown out with the justification being that God was not notified of the lawsuit. However, our boy Ernie here hit him with the trump card. "Mr. Judge, does the court recognize God as real?" "Yes." and you recognize that God is an all powerful and all knowing being. Yeah, sure, I guess. Well then, sir, if he knows everything, then he knows about this lawsuit. Checkmate. So, after this stunning court maneuver, the lawsuit actually did continue. Eventually, two people wrote in to respond for God, one being a lawyer from Texas claiming he wanted to answer the question of what would God say, while the other person could not be identified as they simply wrote in the name of God with no return address. Eventually, the case would be thrown out, as a judge cited that we didn't have God's home mail address, so we couldn't send him a proper paperwork to be filled out. But Ernie was not having it, so eventually he appeals the case to the Nebraska Supreme Court before, again, it was dismissed, which is kind of where that story ends. Wow, so there we have it. Those are the times that people tried to sue God, at least from what I could find. And I was trying to think of a good joke to put here, but then I realized everything I could say would probably get me canceled. So I'll just leave it up to your imagination. Stay tuned for my next video, which is about a mega racist who created chemotherapy. The script is already written for that one, so hopefully it'll be out sooner than later. If you like this video, please leave a like, as it really does help out the channel. I know it's corny to say that. And subscribe if you want to see more. Or, don't, because I'm not your dad. Bye.